Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here and welcome back to part 3 of my March the 3rd 2026 unboxing videos. By this point it's now going to be a mini-series. Unboxing videos. So part 1 we took a look at, we unboxed Doctor Who's spin-off The War Between the Land and the Sea Steelbook Blu-ray, as well as compared it to its standard edition Blu-ray, and also gave that and the Predator Badlands Blu-ray a bit of a showcase after getting those at FOP London Shaftesbury Avenue on Saturday, 28th of February. This steelbook arrived on Monday, 23rd. I also got a couple of other stuff from Forbidden Planet, Shaftesbury Avenue, London, that day, but I'll showcase those at the end. So I thought, why not? Talking about going to FOP, I may as well talk about the stuff I got at Forbidden Planet as well. Didn't really get much of that stuff at the London Film and Comic Con convention that I went to. A couple of stuff from other people, but for myself it was mostly some knitted Doctor Who characters. So anyway, we unboxed this in part 1. In part 2, I had actually forgotten to censor my name on the packagings for these two boxes, all three, but all of these boxes. So I'm going to have to do that in post for parts 1 and 2 on these three packages, but I've done it with using the felt tip marker now. I had done that for War Between as well, so that's problem solved. And like I said, I'm trying to keep at least one of these in good condition to use as a parcel for a friend's present, which I also got at Forbidden Planet FOP, along with the stuff I'll show later. But anyway, part 2 of my unboxing, with that box I've just thrown away, thrown to the side, was the Lupin Zero Collector's Edition Blu-ray. I will put the glue dots on the back of that later, after we've unboxing the other one, and the standard edition Blu-ray. So, yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on that, by the way, go watch the previous part. War Between, like I said, I won't talk too much about that. I didn't talk about that series much in that video because of I do hope to review it at some point in the future. And Predator Badlands, I didn't talk too much about that one either, but I did mention it to talk about it a little bit. So on to the third part. I'll put this onto the side. I might try and do this one in a. It probably won't need a part 4 because I have an idea of what it's going to be, unless I do the showcase in a 4th part. But this one probably could be one video. Depending how that goes out, this will be the last of the unboxing videos, unless I decide to do the showcase and that other one in a part 4. Okay, just keeping these bits clean, because this might actually be the one I use for the parcel to my friend, so I have to keep this one in better condition than the other one, and I tried to do that one as best as I can. Now, as mentioned in the previous part, I think this one is going to be the SpyxFamily Code White Blu-rays, the Collector's Edition and Standard Edition Blu-rays, which I have ordered from All the Anime, that were listed as being set to be released on the 30th of March 2026. As I've mentioned, today at time of filming is the 3rd of March, and even by the time this video goes out, it should still be early to mid-March for these videos being released. So the 30th of March is all the way at the other end of the month, all the way at the other end of the month. And with Lupin Zero, the box, both that one and this parcels were shipped on the Thursday, the 26th, and arrived on Saturday, 28th. So that was a couple of days after the Lupin Zero release came out, whilst War Between, which came out on the same day, actually arrived that day. But that's the difference between Amazon shipping stuff that's ready to go on release day and All the Anime putting stuff in the post. And by the looks of it, a few days after the release, maybe they had quite a few orders. And they had a bit of a backlog. So I wouldn't say is it an independent company? I don't know, but it's definitely not as big company as Amazon. Yeah, this is definitely SpyxFamily. I've just seen the spine. There we go. Okay, and that's a box to be saved, and I'll try and keep this bubble wrap. So, yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, scissors it is then. Try and save as much as I can, because I'll use one of these for the gift I'm sending to a certain somebody. He knows who he is. Fellow Universals member, for anyone wondering, for their birthday. If you know your Universals, it's someone's birthday in April. In fact, actually, it would have been just a few days after this was supposed to come out, but I've gotten my copy early. I don't know if they've changed the dates then of this release. Yeah, there's my receipt, sticker thing, and yeah, okay, so SpyxFamily Code White. They've got the 12 on the plastic again, so I'll have to put that sticker on the box. Collector's edition and standard edition Blu-rays. Collector's edition also includes the DVD and soundtrack CD discs. Woo! A bit like with Lupin the First, except with the addition of the CD for the soundtrack. I don't think they released the soundtrack for the Lupin the First. They did the Part 6 soundtrack on vinyls. I'm glad they're including the CD of the soundtrack here, because the vinyl... vinyl's really expensive, so it's good to include the CD on the collector's set release, and that's already got DVD and Blu-ray together. So we'll open the collector's set first, but we'll just show off the front. Has a really nice picture there, and that's the top, SpyxFamily Code White, the bottom with the copyright stuff, a spine with a really nice blue kind of spine in the middle. That looks really nice, and that back looks really good as well. Apart from there's only a few bits of pictures. Is that picture? Hang on, is that picture from Anya's sort of holding her going to the toilet in fantasy dream sort of situation, where she's sort of semi-hallucinating? Okay, that's a choice of a picture to use, but okay, so it's a good back. It lends a bit more. There's a bit more space on the back for the credits for this, as opposed to on the all the anime ones. Interestingly, this looks like it's more of an all the anime release, whilst the other ones were the shows were Crunchyroll releases. But yeah, that's the comparison to the Lupin Zero one, which is a bit more traditional for the all the anime releases on their backs, and that's more like it. That's more traditional there. But they've done it a bit differently on the collector's edition set, possibly to include more stuff on there, maybe more details, etc. That I shall read it. I think the main bit is the same, so I'll read it from the standard release. He's a spy, she's an assassin. Together, Lloyd and York keep their double lives to themselves while pretending to be the perfect family. However, their adopted daughter, Anya, a telepath, knows both of their exciting secrets unbeknownst to them. Whilst under the guise of taking his family on a weekend winter getaway, Lloyd's attempts to make progress on his current mission, Operation Strix, proves difficult when Anya mistakenly gets involved and triggers events that threaten world peace. Or to put it another way, so after 2 seasons of shenanigans in the main show, this movie's basically, like, if you hadn't got into the show, this movie's sort of a kind of a, like Lupin the First, it's sort of a good way to get into the series if you hadn't seen it. This was actually, I had seen clips of the first series on YouTube, but this is the first full SpyxFamily story I watched, and then after getting Crunchyroll, I watched the rest of the series, including the film again when it got uploaded to that, not very long after I got Crunchyroll and started watching the series. So that was really good timing, and also, like with the Lupin the First DVD and Blu-ray releases, that only came a couple months after its UK cinema release, and a bit longer for the SpyxFamily Code White cinema release to streaming on Crunchyroll, because that was like the cinema screening was mid to late April 2024, and then it was up on streaming early to mid September 2024, whilst Lupin the First cinema early June 2021, and then the home MIDI, the DVD Blu-ray release in mid to late September 2021. But that film only had one screening at a select number of cinemas on one evening in June 2021. So the fact that it got DVD and Blu-ray releases just 3 and a bit months later was really good, especially as the film was almost 2 years old in Japan. Here, on the other hand, because the streaming release would have been like 5 months later, as opposed to Lupin's, where 3 and a bit months for home video, whilst SpyxFamily Co-White got released in UK cinemas for a few days in mid to late April 2024, and then streaming in early to mid September 24, as I mentioned. And now it's March 2026, or February 2026 for the shipping. And it was interesting. It was scheduled to be initially going to be the end of March 2026 when it came out, but here it is. So I could even have arrived at the start of April 2026, almost 2 years after it came out in the UK cinemas for a little while. I'm guessing maybe the fact that it was on Crunchyroll for a while is why it's taken them so long to actually put this Blu-ray out and the DVD, put this film out on home media in the UK. And the film's been out over 3 years in Japan now. It's coming up to over 2 years now. It's coming up to the second anniversary of being distributed internationally. Like I said, we got it at the end of April, or towards the end of April 2024. I saw both dub and sub versions on, I think it was the last Sunday of April that year. Or the second to last. I actually wanted to see the sub version first, and then watch it in English afterwards. But due to the screenings that they had, it was 1 dubbed and then 3 subbed. So I just watched the dubbed one first, and then came back for the first of the sub screenings. So I had to watch it that way. But I'm guessing it's because it's been on streaming on Crunchyroll for a bit before they could release it. Plus, also it seems to be that they're doing yearly SpyxFamily releases. So, like, Series 2 came out last year on Blu-ray, having aired in 2023. Ahead of Code White's release in cinemas, Part 2 of Series 1 had been released, and I think at the start of 2023, the first half was released. Maybe the end of 2023, actually, because there seemed to be some gaps between the broadcast. But yeah, that series aired in both parts in 2022. And then part 1 of Series 1 comes out around late 23 or so. And then the second part in early to mid 2024. And then the second series airing in late 2023. The first series was split into, I think, spring for the first part and autumn for the second part. And then autumn for Series 2 and Series 3 in 2023 and 2025 respectively, with the film also coming out in December, just before Series 2 finished, but international locales would have gotten it later, after Series 2 had come out. Yeah, with Series 3 having, I think it's finished. I think they will probably release that on DVD Blu-ray next year, winter or spring 2027. And with no Series 4 or second film on the horizon, that will be probably the latest release until the 4th series comes out. Which might, if it's not going to come this year, it'll probably be 2027 or 28. I haven't actually seen all of Series 3. I need to finish it. I think I watched the first couple of episodes in Japanese. I think I need to go back to the start and watch the whole thing in English now. Because I only got so far into it. Anyway, so I'm going to unbox the collector's edition. It's also got a bit of a nice spine on the inside Blu-ray. I'm wondering if the inside Blu-ray in here is going to be very similar to the standard edition Blu-ray. I've just noticed that their film strip they have here, that's black. They usually have their releases, they'll have multiple colours. They'll put a colour on certain ones. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's red. I think once it was orange on the Lupin the First, unless that was red. Sometimes maybe it's green. This one's black, interestingly. Lupin 0 is red, as we see. I think some of the other ones are. I think it's usually blue on Lupin the Third. Yeah, sometimes they'll have a different colour for that, which I find really cool. This inside Blu-ray actually looks like it's more of the more traditional inside Blu-ray, has a different sort of look to it, rather than the Lupin the Third, Lupin Zero ones. I'll stick with the 12 there. Rated 12. SpyxFamily has an interesting age rating system. There's only a couple of episodes seem to be rated 15. I think there's like maybe on part 1 of series 1's release, only one disc is rated 15. Or on the Blu-ray, it's one disc Blu-ray, one disc DVD. So only like maybe a little bit of that is only an episode or two is rated 15 on that. I think it might be the one where Yor's brother Yuri maybe beats somebody up in an interrogation, and then the second half is all rated 12. Series 2, however, has a few more 15 rated episodes, and I think both discs are 15, but then again it depends on where that arc with the yacht is, which episodes those are. I think it's right bang in the middle, so it might even be at the split, which would explain a lot, because those are probably the most violent episodes of the series. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Series 3 got a 15 because of maybe some upsetting sequences during the war episodes. But I will have to watch all of Series 3 to determine that, but I expect that'll be rated 12 or 15. And this is a 12 as well. So that's the front there with the Forger family and some artwork in the background. Spine there, and the back also looks a pretty neat blue and white kind of card-like background, and of course our back cards. Pictures include on the back of both are the Forger family minus Lloyd from to start the film, and you're finding the chest from early in the film, the poop god scene, and Lloyd with the kind of Zeppelin steering wheel thing. The collector's edition includes trailers as bonus, which is also the same on the Blu-ray disc, but you also get a 32-page booklet, art drawn by the original manga artist, Anya sticker, and original soundtrack for the film on CD in the collector's edition set alongside the Blu-ray and DVD discs. I'm presuming the DVD also has the trailers as well. And then there's details about the series there. Rated 12 contains moderate violence, bloody images, and threat, which makes a little sense for this series. Okay, there's the special booklet, which we'll have a look at in a bit. The collector's editions for series 2 and 3 usually came with some interesting stuff. Okay, so yeah, the cover for the inside of the Blu-ray is probably the same as the standard edition of Blu-ray. What about the back? No, the back does. Okay, so this is more of a traditional collector's edition inside Blu-ray with the same cover as the standard edition, as opposed to Lupin Zero's, which I was struggling to get out now. As opposed to Lupin Zero, where if you didn't notice the age rating, or maybe if you swapped it to the other side, and the same to this one, and then you turned it round, apart from the age rating, it's practically identical. So, yeah, so instead of this could go in here, to be honest, and you probably couldn't tell the difference. Same with the opposite side of the cover, only the age rating being omitted, and the opposite cover omits the age rating from both releases, so yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Whilst you couldn't tell the difference on the front, apart from the missing age rating, and also the title of the film not being included on the collector's edition set. But then you go to the back and then you see, right, this is the standard edition, that's the collector's edition. Same for the spine. So this one's actually more in line with their previous collector's editions that I have gotten, whilst the Lupin Zero one felt like it was just the standard edition release, literally placed inside the collector's edition box, just take off the age rating on the front cover of the main cover, which I wouldn't mind, but I think that because they do such a great job with these collection sets, especially for SpyxFamily, there's the sticker, there's a art card, lovely stuff. because they've been known to mix it up a little bit, I think something like this is more pleasing for the collector's editions. I don't mind like this being included in the collector's set with the bonus bells and whistles, but I think they go the extra mile in kind of mixing up a little bit with this. So I'm going to say that this collector's edition, even if it wasn't with the art card, the sticker, the CD, or even the DVD being included, if it was just the Blu-ray, just the same stuff on the disc, and a booklet, and a nice case, then I would say this one is slightly better than the Lupin Zero one, because they do kind of go the extra mile to say it's not just the standard Blu-ray included in there, maybe with the DVD and CD as well, but they actually put a bit of effort into the collector's edition side as well, to make it slightly different to what you get on the standard one, as opposed to Lupin Zero, where it's almost identical, age rating perhaps on the front cover aside, or not being on the front cover on the collector's edition version aside. Bit of a shame there. I won't hold it too much, but yeah. Anyway, so we've got the inside here. So disc 1, code white. The Blu-ray disc is white, whilst the DVD disc is black. And I like how, like with the Lupin the Third, the first one, they had a bit of a different version of the Bresson diary circle thing that they were using to find it. That they mixed it up, the two versions, one version for the Blu-ray, one version for the disc. It was a little bit different, and then on the collector's edition you would get the two together, and it looked really great with them being perhaps paired side by side. So I'm glad the same happens here with the white and black definitions. That's really cool. Makes sense the Blu-ray's the white disc one, because it's more people will be going for the Blu-ray, and for the collector's edition it's the main disc, so it makes sense that one's the Blu-ray one and the white one, and DVD is the black one. And also disc 3 is the CD, which I think that's dark blue. It's a very shiny dark blue with a bit of maybe snow on it, so that's probably kind of inspired by the picture. And I think the picture for the standard edition Blu-ray is also the one on the vinyl, as we saw in the booklet in the first part, which might also be in here as well. So that's really cool that the original soundtrack CD is a dark blue with sort of like white dots around to imply snow, perhaps. So that's really cool. And then the inside is just a picture of the train station and town of where they go to in the film, the main setting for the majority of the movie. By the way, this is a really great movie. If you haven't gotten into SpyxFamily, this is a good way to get into the series. Although you can watch the whole thing on Crunchyroll, but now with the DVD and Blu-ray releases, you can watch two of the 3 seasons and the movie on DVD and Blu-ray. Like I said, the third one is still yet to get released. That'll probably be next year. Before we move, either way, I find this a really great picture. I think that's from Bond's vision at the end. By the way, Bond the dog, he can predict the future or see all different versions of the future. I think that's from towards the end when they go to his prediction of them going to the beach in a second family weekend. That's implied that they'll go on next. So before we move on to the standard edition Blu-ray, let us look at the other bonuses, which are the booklet, the art cards drawn by the artist. Yep, that looks great. It gives me very much like the cover of the volumes, the collection of manga chapters in volumes vibes. It gives me those kind of, yeah. If Spy, I think this did get a novelization in Japan, but if this ever got with the poster or one of the posters as the cover, but if this ever came to Western audiences, if we got a manga or novelization version of the film released over here, this would definitely be a great contender for the front cover if they wanted to keep it in the manga collection style. And a Anya sticker, which I think you can peel here. I think it's an ordinary sticker, so that's really cool. Interesting, it's just Anya, but hey, I'm not complaining. And I move those over to the side quickly for the booklet, because we are going longer with this video. So I'll try and speed run through the second, I'll try and run through this. So I guess we will be getting a part 4. Then we've been going for nearly 3 hours. We've been going for nearly 2 hours as well. Total. So SpyxFamily Code White Special Booklet. Really nice kind of blue and white design like they've got on the box itself. I really like this. I'm wondering if this is sort of maybe like a menu sort of thing, but I'm not quite sure. And I've got some pictures from the film, some information about this. Now this is telling us stuff about the series. This is actually telling us stuff about what's going on. I'll do a quick read of the story. A cooking lesson is to be held at Eden Academy, and supposedly it's a cooking competition, and supposedly the winner will receive a stellar star. In order to secure that stellar for Anya and advance his mission, Lloyd plots to have her make Mary Mary, a traditional sweet, beloved, it's more of a cake sort of dessert thing, beloved by the principal of the school, who will be judging the competition, and so he proposes a family vacation to the Phrygian region where the dessert originates. But along the way, Anya comes into possession of a certain secret and is targeted by mysterious men who are tied to the Ostanian army, who are planning to start basically World War III. Or whichever war we're up to in this series. Because basically SpyxFamily is set in a world in some countries that are basically some fictional versions based on East and West Europe post World War II, specifically Germany. So it's like West and East Germany if they were separate countries. Sort of that like East and West Cold War vibe sort of thing, and presumably the war taking place beforehand is basically the World War II equivalent of this universe. Although based on the timeline of that war, with it starting when Lloyd was a boy and going up to him being at least in his late teens until it ends and he's recruited into the as a spy. Then it definitely takes much longer than World War II did in our universe. In our universe, it was about nearly 7 years. So in the SpyxFamily verse, the World War II equivalent took at least 10, if not more, years. That's almost the length of World Wars I and II put together. That would be about 12 years. I'm not really sure if there was a war before that one, but yeah, definitely had a big war. In this universe, and they're trying to avoid having another one. That's what this whole Operation Strix is about, and the Ostanian Empire, the East, where they all live, the East country, is that like there's these groups in the army that is plotting to have another war in this film. The main mission is to get close to a far-right politician to try and make sure he doesn't start another war. But in this movie, it is a group of the Ostanian army who are trying to spark the war in this film. Keywords: Westalis, that's the Western country. Twilight's home nation. They have been at war with Ostania until recently years. I don't know if they've... I think that's been miswritten. They remain in a state of Cold War, but diplomatic relations have steadily been recovering. Ostania, the nation where the Forger family lives, though strict control is exercised on the populace, it enjoys a state of relative freedom at present. Which actually does mean Ostania is actually more of a nicer place to live than probably East Germany was, or Russia was, during the Cold War in real life, but they still have some of those practices those countries had. WISE is the Westalis intelligence agency that Twilight's work belongs to. They sent agents into Ostania to protect the peace enjoyed by both nations. We didn't really see Westalis in the post-war age. We only see it during and pre-war in some episodes. But like I said, I have to finish season 3 and read the manga. I've got all chapters up, all volumes up to volume 15, which also got released early because that was planned to come out on New Year's Day this year. But I went into my local Waterstones on December 23rd 22nd or 23rd, and I found it there. It was out already. And yeah, they said that sometimes they got them in early, so I was able to get a copy of that about a week and a bit before New Year's Day, when it was supposed to come out, which is really cool. So yeah, it seems that they're pushing some early releases on SpyxFamily stuff. But yeah, I've got 15 volumes to read, and also the dossier book and the light novel short story collection. Anyway, Operation Strix, an important mission to make continued contact with the VIP Donovan Desmond. That's the right-wing leader and also former leader of the country that I mentioned, and extract information to keep an eye out for worrying movement. State Security Service, Ostania's counterintelligence agency, commonly known as the Secret Police. They seek to capture and purge enemy agents and traitors. So again, some of that stuff of the control that they had, like Russia and East Germany had in the past, and sometimes they can actually be a bit too rough. Like some people might call them on completely innocent people, just like in real life. Eden College, a famed school in Ostania, a massive institution that teaches all 13 grades of schools, which has produced a number of graduates who want to greatly support the nation. Stellar Star, Medals of Merit at Eden Academy. They are awarded based on schoolwork and contributions to society. If you gather 8, you are awarded the special rank of Imperial Scholar. So Anya needs to get 8 of those so that Lloyd can meet Desmond. On the other side of things, Tenitra Sports. Penalties awarded by Eden Academy. They are given out for poor grades and bad behaviour. If you receive 8, you are expelled. So he's got some character information and designs with the voice actors for the Japanese version listed. This does include the English dub, which I mentioned I did see alongside the Japanese, before and the Japanese dub in the cinema, and then I went to see the Japanese one in another screening after lunch. Because they were doing an English one first and then some Japanese ones after. Lloyd, Anya, Yor, who actually is my favourite character, not just because she's a pretty woman, but also she's really cool and also really funny. Like, she tries to be the perfect mother and wife, but she's a bit of a klutz. She doesn't really do an amazing job when she's in her civilian identity. She's a bit of a scatterbrain, but she's really funny. She's really cool, and when she's an assassin, she's awesome. Like, she's just as incredible as Lloyd is when he's at his work. I would say Anya's technically the main character, but Lloyd is pushed up to be the first one mentioned. And there are points where he is, you do follow him more as the main character. And sorry if you saw a midget fly just by, I thought I got them. Damn things. Bond Forges, obviously the pet named after Bond Man, the spy that Anya watches on TV. Who himself is properly named after James Bond. Bond, especially Sean Connery's Bond, was fairly big in Japan back in the 60s. Lupin III was somewhat partly inspired by him. We got Sylvia Sherwood, aka Handler, that's Lloyd's boss. Fiona Frost, one of his colleagues, and also she's in love with him. She's trying to become Mrs. Forger. Frankie Franklin, who is Lloyd's best friend, and a Ostanian, not a double agent, he's like a informant. Yuri Breyer, Yor's brother who works for the Secret Police, and Henry Henderson, one of the masters at Eden, who teaches predominantly as the head of house for Anya's class. Got a couple of Eden College students, Damien Desmond, the second son of Donovan, who Lloyd is trying to get, so Anya has to try and be friends with him. It does not go well. Becky Blackbell, her actual best friend at the school, and then Damien's best friends, Emil Elman and Iwi Eggeberg. I have skimmed the SpyxFamily mangas. There seems to be one point where Anya does gush over space alongside Ewan, so those two characters may bond over time, and it's possible that all 5 may even kind of be more friendly with each other as time goes on. But definitely starting out, everyone's kind of cross with each other. Now we get to the main villains, Nidal, the general of the Ostanian army, who are attempting to cause World War III, or whichever one it is in this universe, or would be in this film, and Type F, which is some sort of a weapon thing that Yor has to fight in the climax of the film. And then Dimitri and Luca, who are the two characters who are taking this sort of chocolate with a microchip inside to style, and they sort of like act as the main two henchmen in the film. Also a poop god, which is from Anya's dream, because when she's trying to, she's swallowed the chocolate, it's got the microfilm in it, although as we found out later it gets stuck to her teeth, but Dimitri and Luca are waiting for her to go to the toilet so that they could probably dig it out from her poop, so to speak. And she's trying to hold it in, and in doing so she sort of comes up with a hallucinogenic dream where she's going on this weird ride with the poop god, and it is so weird. It is the weirdest scene in the film. I've seen it twice in English and once in Japanese, the two cinema screenings, and then once more in English on Crunchyroll. It's so weird. It is so fucking weird. Oh, I think they could have cut it, to be honest, but oh well. And then we've got some stuff from the world. The Chairman Bernard's residence. I think that's from the start of the film. Trains Frigis Station. And also that aeroplane that's used in the climax. Rubble and Bonds, which is, I think it's the restaurant, City Market, the Ferris wheel, which is, it's nice going to this market thing. I think the family hang out, the hotel, living room, Parkville Lake View, the town of Frigis, air traffic control tower, airship enormity, and a bit of action from the end of the film. The props here, including the Merry Merry cake thing. The chocolate is inside that, well, the microfilm is inside that case from that picture we saw. Oh, and there's some, here's an interview. See what I was talking about with interviews? Well, they've got some cast interviews with the Japanese voice actors of Lloyd and Yor. And then another one with Anya and Bond's voice actors. And a third one with the director and the chief animator director. So we've got quite a few interviews here, and then also some, looks like, key frames at the back of this. Some of the frames featuring characters. And gallery including the posters. I like that this one says it's in IMAX, which I think must be for Japan, because we didn't get it in IMAX. We just about got some screenings. And then there's the end poster for the back of the Blu-ray case, which I put in the box now. I've been doing this recording for over 40 minutes now. And then the booklet staff and stuff. Excellent stuff. Okay, well, there we go. All included. Lovely jubbly. Oh, like I said, I'll put some blue dots on that at the end. And we're still not done, even though this is the longest part. Okay, standard edition Blu-ray now. We'll speed run this one, I guess, but I like the Anya picture they use on the spine. This cover also uses that one of those posters as I just shown, but as well as the apart from Bond, the Forger family are included up front and centre, but you get other characters from across the film included. Oh no, there's Bond, there is. So most, if not all of the main characters from the series, as mentioned in the booklet, plus the villains and henchmen, also appear on this poster slash cover. Okay, I will say this: the plastic gets stuck more in the standard editions than it does on the collector's editions. The Lupin Zero got one it got stuck with as well. Okay, so as I've already shown the back, so I'm just going to open it up, and there's the white disc as mentioned for the Blu-ray disc, just the Blu-ray one this time. Okay, so inside is just pictures of Anya from the film, and I don't think they repeat. No, I don't think they do repeat. Actually, I think like you got like they're all individual pictures, no repeats that I can see. It looks really good. I'll bring it up to camera. I'll do a better view. I think all of these, every single picture, like there is no repetitiveness, like the same picture is shown twice. I think they're all individual. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. So that's 49 pictures. 49 individual frames of the film. Of Anya, maybe with some other characters as well, like Bond appears there a few times. Becky's, I think the villains. Was Becky there? No, Becky's not there. She was in the frames art picture. Yeah, so it's 49 individual pictures. I think some of them may have been used on the back, but as far as the inside is concerned, it's 49 individual photo shots of the film, and maybe in order of when they appear in the film. But even if they're, which is a cool detail, if not, then that doesn't matter too much. So yeah, there you go. SpyxFamily Code White Blu-ray Standard Edition and the Collector's Edition. In terms of the SpyxFamily Collector's Edition, which one is the best? I think maybe the second one, the Series 2 one, possibly. The Series 1 one was also really good. But those ones seem to be more Crunchyroll releases, whilst this one is all the anime one. In terms of the Blu-rays and such. So as a SpyxFamily Code White Collector's Edition set, is it the weakest? Possibly, in terms of the bells and whistles included, maybe, but it's still I think the stuff that it does come with is probably better for the most part. You still get the booklet, you still get a few other gift things as well. But I think the addition of the CD and the fact it's DVD and Blu-ray is really cool. As all the anime collector's edition release, it is definitely a very really good release. And like I said, I think it's probably the stronger of the two collector's edition sets that I got recently. I think, like I said, Lupin Zeros, you could basically put that in here and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference from the one that they did. Whilst SpyxFamily Code Whites, you could tell the difference, even if they have the same front cover. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and next time in part 4 we'll be looking at probably more of the showcase rather than what's going to be on the actual unboxing, but we will see you then for that. Sorry, this one was quite long, almost twice as long as the other two, and I hope to see you guys in the next part, which will be more of the showcase rather than an unboxing, because I have an idea of what this is going to be, and I don't think it's going to take very long. So I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne YouTube channel.